Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, traders, wherever you are in this wide world. Hope you're all well. Hope you're having a good trading week. Welcome to the live stream, and we are going to do many things during this live stream. So, one of the things we're going to do is give away $5,000. We are going to give you a $5,000 prop firm challenge. All right, so stay tuned for that. We'll probably do that somewhere in the middle of the live stream. All right, so stay tuned for that, guys. One of you will win this. Also, guys, we are going to look at the trades that I am currently in. We're in two new trades today. Our euro Canadian dollar trade yesterday didn't work out, but we are in two new trades today. So we're going to take a look at those. And also what else I'm keeping an eye on and what else is setting up. We're going to look at the news, all right, see what's happening there. And more importantly than anything else, we are going to take as many questions from you as we can, guys, all right? So don't be shy. Come say hello, leave a question, and it can be to do with absolutely anything to do with trading, right? So strategy, money and risk management, psychology. Maybe you want me to look at a currency pair. Maybe you need some relationship help, right? Maybe you want to know some capital cities. I'm just being silly, but you get the idea, guys. You can literally ask anything you like about trading or other questions, really. I don't mind. Before we start, it's very important to point out that Liverpool Football Club beat Real Madrid last night 1-0. I am a happy camper today. However, I had to stay up till like 2 a.m. and that is, pretty much past my bedtime. So yeah, but it was worth it. I'm a little bit tired today, guys, but yeah, we had a great result. Right, enough messing about. Let's get stuck in. So let's understand the couple of trades that I've taken so far today. And these are, obviously live trades, guys. Sometimes they will happen during the live stream. Sometimes they'll happen before it, after it, but I will show you all my live trades. And the first one is gold. So let's take a look at gold. And before we look at gold, right, if we go to the news, right, if we go to the economic calendar, now we've had quite a bit of news come out of Europe and the UK, my motherland, but there is a lot of US dollar data coming out later, right? So we've got this in about an hour and 10 minutes. And we've got all of this as well. So we've got some PMI data coming out later, some ISM non-manufacturing, JOLT, crude, right? Trump speaking, who knows what's going to happen there. So I'm very aware of all this, right? Because I'm in a US dollar trade, right? And, I can make some decisions as to how to manage my trade before these news events come out, right? When Trump starts talking, I'm just going to get into the crash position and cry. That's normally my tactic. Laughing at my own jokes. That is not my tactic. I will manage my trade. All right. So I might, if we're in a little bit of profit, I might move things into in the stop loss to break even, things like that. I might take some profit off, and move the stop to break even. So yeah, lots of US dollar news coming out later on. I'm very aware of that. All right, because I am in this trade. So let's understand why I'm in this trade. Now, on the day chart, we know with gold, we're having a bit of a sell-off, right? So, it's very difficult to find highs and lows, right? Because it's gone up so aggressively. But really, I would say that is, we saw this and then we've broken down, right? We've broken this last low here. So we are getting lower highs, right? And we're getting lower lows. Okay, so we are in a downtrend. All right, so daily said I can sell this. Now, the weekly candle is indifferent, right? If anything, it's a little bit bullish, right? Because we have a bottom candle here. But things are so overextended, and price will always, and I mean always, catch up with our smart river. All right. The smart river is basically the mean of the chart. Never in the history of any chart has it not been hit, right? It will come back to that level. Look, I'm just, right? It come back to that level, come back to that level, come back to that level. It will come back to it at some point. So the fact that we're quite overextended means selling is still an option, right? There's room. Although I'm not blown away by selling into this candle, even though it is red. Okay. So if we go back to the day chart, I'm literally, we've got a nice big bearish candle as well. I'm literally just trying to take it back down to these daily lows. That's all. I'm not pushing my luck into that weekly candle, right? So yeah, everything was telling me I can sell. And then the final piece of the jigsaw, right? I was trying to think of another analogy. I always use the analogy, the final piece of the jigsaw. What else can I say? The final sentence of the story. That's a shit analogy. That doesn't really work. But yeah, the last piece of the jigsaw is this, right? Is H4. So you can see price came down. It's not really broken these highs. So it's still in a H4 downtrend, but we're thinking, right, are we seeing higher lows, right? You could draw a trend line through here, right? Attach all these lows. We're thinking, right, is price looking to build? We're seeing an ascending triangle is what that pattern is called. Are we going to see a push higher? And the answer was no. We got a push lower and we broke out of this. Okay. So this is another reason why I like this trade. We've retraced into our smart river, which is a wonderful area to sell from. We got a nice bearish candle. And the idea, like I say, is just to come back down to these lows, stops above here. All right. So again, guys, right, you will see that my trades are pretty much a carbon copy, right? They're following daily trend. They're waiting for pullbacks into value. They want to be with the H4 trend as well. Piff, paff, puff, we enter the trade, right? So, and whether this is important, guys, from a psychology point of view. Sorry, guys, I'm on one today. It's this Colombian coffee I've been drinking. But this is, I know I always talk to you about performance, right? And hello, guys. See a lot of guys coming in. So yeah, we'll answer all of your questions as well. And also, guys, don't forget, we have the $5,000 prop firm challenge giveaway later on. So stay tuned for that. Come on down. It's my game show host bit. Anyway, back to what I was saying. It's the psychology, it's performance, sorry, right? Now, whether this trade works out or not is irrelevant, right? And this might shock a few people, but trading is not, okay, how can I put this? Don't focus on results. Okay, I was going to say it's not a results game, but it is. Obviously, you need to be profitable. Otherwise, stop doing it, right? You need to find some consistency in what you're doing. And therefore, in that context, right, we need to see results, okay? But to get the results, all you need to do is focus on your performance. And when we talk about performance, we think of three things, right? We think of your strategy, which I've just shown you, right? And I show you every day, right? There are other things you need to consider, guys, right? I have a strategy, but, you've got to manage trades, right? You've got money and risk management, etc., right? There's more to it. But ultimately, if I've shown you my strategy, right? And why I'm selling. I've shown you the confluence, the reasons why. So there's my strategy. My money and risk management, I'm risking 1%. So if it hits here, I'm minus 1%. If it hits here, I'm plus 1%. right? And psychology wise, I felt very comfortable taking this trade because it was a good setup. I was thinking, right, that met all the criteria. I took the trade. I kept within my money and risk management parameters. So I felt psychologically very good, right? There was no worry. There was no concern. There was no greed. There was no fear. There was no emotions, right? So my performance on this trade has been, top notch, Mohamed Salah quality, right? So that's all I can do as a trader is follow my strategy, follow my money and risk management, and check, keep my psychology in check. And if I do those three things, my trade is a very good trade. I don't care what anyone says. According to my strategy, that is a very good trade. That's it. I can give myself 10 out of 10 for performance, right? Now, whether the market wants to come and take me out or the market wants to give me profit, I can't control that, right? So I don't worry about that. It takes a long time to just believe in the process and not worry about the result. It does, right? I'm not taking that for granted. But if you just focus on performance and care less about the result, you will see an improvement in your trading, right? Exactly as Nero said, yeah, it's all about performance and the process, right? The results you have no control over. It's a famous saying, right? Control the controllables, right? Even in your own life, right? You can't, whether you're going to get a promotion at work or not, it's really out of your control, right? Whether your wife or husband's going to leave you or not, right? Some of you might be happy about that. I don't know, right? But you can't control that. Okay. When a professional footballer goes into a football match, he wants to play well, right? But he can't control that. But what you can do is focus on your own performance and becoming better. So for that reason, this is a very good trade. Win or lose, doesn't matter. That was a good trade. Okay. So gold sells. And okay, it's exactly the same here. I'm going to show you my next trade, which is Swiss franc Japanese yen sells. Okay, so arguably a little bit more aggressive, this entry, but let's talk through this. I'm selling Swiss franc yen. Okay, so if we go to the day chart, you can see, and in fact, let's draw these lows in here, right? Because that's the last level we're conscious of, right? And there is a level here as well, right? Because that level meant that we broke daily structure. So it was in this uptrend, right? And then bang, we've broken this significant low, right? So we're in a downtrend. We've got nothing but big bearish candles, and we've got this room to move into back down to these lows. Right, there's a bit of room there, right? So daily is telling me I can sell, right? Now, if we drop down to the H4, okay, it's the same, right? We are in a H4. Yeah, let's include some of this, right? We are in a H4 downtrend, okay? So in a H4 downtrend, we've got room to move into, right? I've got a nice big bearish candle, right? And, I just want to come back down to these lows again. Now, the only difference between this trade and my gold trade is that gold retraced into the river and therefore had more value. Okay. And the Swiss franc yen train obviously doesn't, right? You can see that it hasn't pulled back as much. So you could argue there's less value here, right? Now, I'm aware of that, Okay, so why did I take the trade? And the reason is this: look at that daily candle, right? It's like, you know, buyers, then we got sellers. What are they going to do here? Pow. Look at that, right? Super bearish. And if you get a candle like that, right, it allows me to be a little bit more aggressive, as long as there's room to move into, right, which there is. I think we can potentially come down to here. So again, you know, it ticked all the boxes for me, right? The only thing was the concept of value here, right, which I was aware of, but I like this trade as well. Okay, followed my system, followed my money and risk management, followed my psychology, right? I was in a good place taking this trade, right? So all good. Yeah, again, whether this trade works out or not, you know, I don't want to say I don't care, right? Because that's too flippant, right? I do care. I want my trades, you know, it's my living. I want my trades to succeed, of course. But ultimately, I've become a bit numb to that, right? All I can do is perform to the best of my abilities. And ultimately, over the long term, my results will come in, right? The consistency, the profits will come in, right? So, yeah, so you know, that's another thing, guys. Don't look at your trading over the last 5 trades, right? Look at your trading over the last 6 months, right? And stick to one system over those 6 months, because if you keep chopping strategies, then you're really lost. You are in the trading wilderness, right? You are lost in the woods if you keep chopping strategies, because you'll never know if something is working or it's not. You know, so many traders do this. They'll right, got me new strategy. Here we go. Let's trade it. They have 1 week of winning trades. The next week they have a couple of losing trades. They're like, right, I'm going to change the strategy, or I'm going to move on to a different strategy. You are effed if you do that, right? Let a strategy play out. Give it time. Give it at least 6 months, and you'll know where you are with that strategy. And what will also happen is you and that strategy will become one, and you will believe in it. You will trust in it, and you know, it becomes like an old trusty friend, right? Now and again, right? They might let you down, right? But ultimately they got your back. I don't know where I go with these analogies sometimes, but you know what I mean? It's that, right? So it will be there for you. Believe in it and have the confidence and the belief to keep trading it like a robot. Don't stray from it. Don't try and, sorry guys, I've got all sorts of things happening on my phone there. You know, don't stray from it. Just stick with the plan, right? You owe yourself that. If you're the trader that keeps chopping and changing, then you're effed. I'm not swearing. I've got a daughter, you know, I don't swear anymore. And speaking of my daughter, right? So I have this big blaring light when I do a live stream or any video, and it cut the remote. You can only turn it on by remote, right? And then I could not find my remote for love nor money, and then my daughter had hidden it in one of her teddy bears. Anyway. Right, guys, let's see who's in the house now. So, Nero, hello. Niraj, hello. Rodrigo, yeah, let's take a minute to focus on this. Hello, everyone. Glad that Liverpool won. Rodrigo, so am I. Thank you for bringing that up. Right, I've got to bring this up because this is a nice compliment. Bro, amazing analysis. Can't speak. Bro, amazing analysis plus your jokes. Yeah, the jokes are somewhat dubious. Jane, hi. Evans, hi. Okay, so we've got Gib wants me to analyze Bitcoin. Okay, we'll take a look at Bitcoin in a minute. Raphael wants to look at Euro, US dollar, high path, New Zealand dollar, Swiss franc, Mr. Billionaire. Yeah, exactly what I was saying, Nero. Focus on performance and the process. You can control that. You can't control the result, right? Mike, could you please look at pound Swiss franc and pound yen? Yes, Mike, we'll do that. How are you, mate? How are the Saints getting on? Are they doing well this year? I don't look as low as the championship. I'm only kidding, but how are the Saints getting on? Okay, Godwin is also in a gold sell. Godwin, great minds think alike. Okay, so we've got loads of questions. Lost go high. Right, loads of good questions coming in, guys. So we are going to start by analyzing the first one that come in, and that was Bitcoin. Before I do, guys, if I could please ask everyone to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and please smash that like button. It really helps support the channel. You can also become a supporter of the channel if you like. I think it's about $2 a month, and there's some perks for doing so. Also, guys, if you look above my head, let's focus firstly on the website. So if you go to www.simply-forex.com, not only will you find a fantastic website, my friend did it, so I have to say that, but you'll also get access to all of our premium trading education, okay, including the course, including the mentorship program, including the VIP Trading Academy, and including our Price Action Pro indicator, right? There's something there for you. Also, guys, please don't forget to join our Discord, our free trading community. Join it. I'm sure you'll like it. If you don't, you can leave. Right, but you will. There's traders sharing knowledge, ideas. You can have a chit chat. You can see all the things we have running for traders. Go check it out. And also, guys, don't forget today's live stream is brought to you by Pepperstone. They are a world-class leading broker. And if you sign up using their link or our link, we will give you a free VIP access and we'll give you a free Essential Trading View subscription. We can also, if you're currently a Pepperstone client, we can also put you under our umbrella. All right. And there's some perks for doing that as well. So yeah, all the information for all of these things are in the video description. Okay, guys. Right. Let's have a look at, actually, let me just, oh no, let's do this. Right. So let's have a look at Bitcoin. Does everyone trade Bitcoin? Or does people stay away from Bitcoin? Now, this is okay. So I was, again, if you look at my weekly analysis that I do every Saturday, right? Not to blow my own trumpet, right? But obviously we don't get them all right. But literally last couple of weeks, they've all been bang on. And this was one of them, right? I was saying, let's sell Bitcoin back down to this 100,000 level. And that is pretty much what has happened. Now it's nothing for me, right? I'm not interested in selling into this support level and selling into this massive psychological number, right? So right now it's a no trade, right? Because we're at that level. I want to see what price does at that level. Now, if we get, a retrace potentially back into here, then okay, we could potentially take it down and try and test the 100,000 level again. So that would be my first idea on how to trade Bitcoin. Or the other one would be we get a nice big bearish candle that breaks below the 100,000 level. Then we get a retrace to it, and then we take it down to the next area of support. Right, this is technical analysis, okay, and we take it back down to the next area of support, and that would be idea number 2. But right now, guys, I am not interested in doing anything with this at this level. Right, there's support. I know we're in a downtrend, so I want to sell, but we're literally at support. All right. Just out of curiosity, let's have a look at the day chart, see what is happening at that level, right? Yeah, obviously we're gonna see a few buyers at that level. right? Now, whether the buyers take it up to here or they take it up to here, right, we don't know. But, you know, I would be looking for a deeper retrace. There's a nice level through here, bearish reaction, come lower, or break, retest, come lower. All right, so yeah, that's Bitcoin. Gib, I hope that helps. Raphael, one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I believe. Who can name all the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? We had Donatello, Raphael, Leonardo. What was the other one? Michelangelo. Is that right? Yeah. The baddie was Shredder, and you had the rat Splinter. There you go. That was how my youth was taken up. I didn't really watch much of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, to be honest. Anyway, so yeah, let's have a look at Euro US dollar sales now. And I like Euro US dollar sales. It was on my trade ideas list this week, right? Now, the problem with this trade is it's clearly a sell trade, right? We're in this downtrend. Right, there was this level here that created a little bit of confusion, but we just broke it. Right, now we're clearly in a downtrend and we want to sell it. And just look at the candles: bearish, 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 and yesterday's very bearish. Now, and there's lots of room to come down into. Now, the question here is value, right? You know, do you really want to start selling here? I've got an alarm in here, but even that would be aggressive. Right? You know, you want to see a pullback before we come lower. Having said that, as I said with Swiss franc yen, this is a very bearish daily candle. So it might not want to come back into this level, right? It might just do that. So if we drop down to the H4, yeah, I will be waiting for a pullback into our river, right? And this smart river, guys, is part of our price action pro indicator if you're interested. All right. So like I say, all the links are in the video description, but they better be. Otherwise, we'll sack the editor. So yeah, I'll be looking for a pullback into here. You can see there's a bit of a level through here. So this is of interest, shall we say. We've got a bit of US dollar news, but this is of interest. If we started seeing big bearish H4 candles here, then potentially, but at the moment, a little bit oversold. Right, what else are we looking at? Path wants to look at New Zealand Swiss franc. Yeah, this is teeing up for a nice trade right now. The question is, do we have? Yeah, this is looking like a nice trade, right? Because if we look at the day chart, you know, if we just follow daily structure. Right, this here is a little scruffy, right? Because we had this gap up, right? But it never really. This is the last substantial high, right? And it never really, there wasn't really a high there. But now it's kind of found its high here, right? So that's the next substantial lower high. So we're getting lower highs. We're clearly getting lower lows. So we're in a downtrend. And if any of that was in doubt, we got this nice big bearish candle here, right? With potentially all this room back down to these lows here. All right. So I like this trade. And again, this was one of my sell trades for this week. And on the H4, right, because of the clocks changing, right, they don't change here, by the way. So that's why my live stream is basically the same time in Dubai. Now it might be slightly different times for you guys, but it'll always be 4 p.m. Dubai time because time doesn't change here. It's like a time machine, and I'm like Doctor Who. Dear. Right. What was that other one with the time travel? Oh, what was that one, that old show where he had the little beeping device and the character was Sam and it took him back. He embodied a person and he went back in time. What was that show called? Someone please put me out of my misery and let me know. But yeah, New Zealand dollar, Swiss franc. We like the daily for sales. This is clearly in a downtrend. We're getting a nice bearish H4 candle, right? This is looking like a nice sell trade. Potentially back down to these lows, right? Could start selling here, stops above here, right? If not, let some profit run. So yeah, I'm liking New Zealand dollar Swiss franc sells path. I'm assuming you wanted to sell. Right, what else have we got here? Mike. So Mike, did you tell me how Southampton are doing? Right, so lost go lad, Saints sacked their boss. Okay, so that's not normally a good sign. Quantum leap. Thank you very much, Mike. That is indeed it. Quantum leap. I used to love, and Tony got that right. Yeah, I used to love that show. Yeah, don't ask, just sack the manager. Okay. We won't delve any deeper. Right, Mike wants to look at pound Swiss franc and pound yen. So let's start with pound Swiss franc, because this is an interesting one, right? Because daily, it's all about, do we have enough room to come back down to the low, right? And that goes for any time frame, right? There's almost this bit here, and then it's pretty much just been like that, right? And this is where we're at. So we're clearly in a downtrend, which means we want to sell. We've got a nice big bearish candle, which means we want to sell, right? I know the weekly candle doesn't look great, right? Because if we go to the weekly, you know, we've had a bit of a wick rejection there, right? So yeah, you know, and this goes for any time frame. So this is the daily chart, and this is, you know, a lot of the logic behind our price action indicator, right? When we're in a downtrend, right, and we take a trade, so we're in a downtrend, you know, the question really is, you know, if we get this big bearish candle, is there enough room to come back down to the low? Because that makes sense as a target. You know, if we start selling here, is there enough room to put a stop up here? You know, is there that room to take the trade? And that is what I'm looking at on the daily chart, right? And this is why this wasn't a trade idea, okay? Because, you know, is there enough room, right? Not much. There's a bit of room, you know, and I would say there is a little bit of room, really, okay? So bearing that in mind, if we go down to the H4, you know, I know your question, Mike, will be, because Mike uses the indicator, right? You know, can we start selling here, stops above here, take profit back down to here? I would say it depends on how this candle looks. If it's got a big bottom wick, it just doesn't sound right, a big bottom wick. Yeah, you don't want to know where my mind went there. But if it has a big bottom wick, no, right? There's some buying pressure there. But if we had a candle, let's just say for argument's sake, and it looked like that with no bottom wick, then yes, right? Sellers have taken control and there's enough room. So for me, it's all about the candle here, right? I don't like selling into candles with bottom wicks, and I don't like buying into candles with top wicks, right? You know, so yeah, that would be my take on pound Swiss franc, and also pound yen. So this is, I discussed this yesterday actually. Now, this is a real good case. I don't know why I'm praying, but this is a real good case of why you should look at multiple time frames, right? This is a perfect example of daily versus weekly conflict. Because if I showed you the weekly, which I am, if I showed you the weekly, you would be like, Tom, let's buy this bad boy. Even if the weekly candle finished like this, It's held on to this support level. It's bouncing off our smart river, which is good support. That is looking like a wonderful buying opportunity, right? It is. Now, if we go to the daily chart, we have literally just had a fresh daily structure break, right? We've broken these lows. That is a fresh daily structure break. And normally I would love a fresh daily structure break. There's nothing I like more than a fresh break because you're getting into that trade early. The likelihood it has a lot of room to move into. But that weekly is telling me I can't, even if we get a retrace, I can't sell into this level, right? That's what it's telling me. I mean, if we go down to the H4, there's nothing but buying pressure, right? Nothing's telling us to sell it anyway. But, even if price potentially got into here, we got a nice bearish candle, I would still be reluctant to sell pound yen. So hope that helps, Mike. And sorry to hear about the Saints. Guys, I just want to show you this announcement quickly that I put on the Discord. So these are my trades. There's a Swiss franc yen. There's the gold trade. But what I also want to show you is a little announcement that I have made on the Discord. So this announcement right here, guys. Okay, so traders, something massive dropping soon. Been working on a game changer behind the scenes, the kind of edge that separates winners from losers. This isn't another strategy or indicator. Big announcement coming soon, right? So keep your eyes out for this, guys, right? Because we are going to look to work with a handful of traders and make them profitable, right? And we might even sort of do some videos on it and how that journey went for some of these traders, right? We might do something like that. We just think some good will come out of this. So check it out, guys. Yeah, keep your eyes open for that. And yeah, some people will be in touch. Let them know if you're interested. Right, guys, what else are we looking at? So Nero wanted to look at, you're welcome, Mike. Sorry, guys, I've lost where I was on the live. Okay, so Nero's talking about NASDAQ and US dollar 30, right? So let's look at the Dow Jones. Now, the thing with these indices is they are looking like very good buying opportunities. All of them, right? Because, at this point, this was more Trump tariffs chat. He's got to shut his mouth about tariffs and all that. He just opens his mouth and the shit hits the fan. Stop. Can somebody muzzle him? Also, guys, we're almost running out of time, right? But look, it's pulled back to a really nice level. That was resistance. That will become support. We're at our smart river. That's looking like a nice buying opportunity. Right, guys, it is time for someone to win $5,000 courtesy of one of our prop firm partners, either Blueberry Funded or E8 Markets, right? So these are the rules. This is what you've got to do to play. Before you play, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button and smash the like button. Go check out the website, come join our trading community, go check out the Pepperstone promotion, and don't forget we've got something big coming soon. All the information you need is in the video description. Right, we are going to do this. Let me close my eyes. Right, Euro US dollar. So be it. We're going to go to the day chart. Right, I'm going to scroll back. I'm going to get start a new one. Right, here we go. Right, now we're going to drop down to, let's go down to the hourly. Very exciting. All right. Okay, now let's do the H4. The hourly becomes a little bit more of a lottery. So I am going to put a long position here, right? Where price is currently right now we are going to do this. Right, well, let's do 1:1. Let's just keep it as 1:1 all the time. What am I doing? Right, there's 1:1. So you know the rules by now, guys. If you don't, let me just explain. Okay, so in the live chat, you basically need to say, will this trade work out? So this is a buy trade. Okay, so if you think it will work out, put yes in the live chat. If you don't think this will work out, put no. If you are correct, we'll play the chart along. If you are correct, you give yourself 1 point. No cheating, be honest, otherwise we'll send the editor round. And he is a nutter. Right, so, okay. So we've got no's. I'm keeping an eye on seeing who's entered. If you haven't entered, you can't then at the end of it say, yeah, I've got 5 out of 5. Right, so we've got some no's, some yeses, some no's. I'm going to say I can play along. I'm going to say yes. Right, so let's play this along, guys. Let's play it along. Let's play it a bit quicker than this, otherwise we'll be here all night. Oh, very indecisive. Christ, I've picked the worst one possible. Nope, still hasn't hit there. Oh, yeah, I'd say that's hit. Oh, well, that definitely has. Yep. So if you put yes, give yourself a point. I said yes, so I've got 1 point. I've got 1 out of 1. I too can win a challenge. Right, next one. We're going to do another buy trade. This is it. What do you think? Okay, so what do you think, guys? This is a buy trade. Is it going to win? Put yes. Put no if you don't think it's going to win. So everyone, again, please enter. Remember, you can win a $5,000 prop firm challenge courtesy of Blueberry Funded or E8 Markets. And US clients, we can also cater to you now. You're welcome. I've had to, yeah. Right, I'm going to say yes. That's what I think. Let's have a look. Oh, looking good. Now it's not. Oh, right. That reeks of news. Okay, no. Right. So if you put no, give yourself a point. If you put yes, like I did, no point. Right. Okay, so we're going to stop with the buy trades now. We're going to look at some sell trades. If I can find the right button. Here we go. Short position. Remember, we're doing 1:1. About that. Right. So let's push this over. There's the sell trade now. Do you think this sell trade will be successful? So everyone, leave your answer. I feel as if I got peanut butter all around my mouth. I had peanut butter on toast a little earlier on. I haven't had that for a while. Quite enjoyed it. And what is it? Is anyone from the US? What is it with peanut butter and jelly? Or peanut butter and jam, as we call it? What is that little phenomenon about? Okay, I'm going to say yes as well. I think this will work out. Let's have a look. Let's play it along. Ooh. Okay, no, that didn't hit our stop loss, right? You can see here, didn't quite hit our stop loss, did hit our target. So if you put yes, give yourself a point, right? You might, this is Euro US dollar, so you wouldn't even got taken out with spread. Yeah, you would have been fine. That wouldn't have been taken out. So that was a successful sell trade. Right, we're going to go back to the buys now. This is the buy trade. Let's move the sell trade out of the way. In fact, let's remove that. Right, so next one, guys. What do we think? Bit of a Larry stop loss. Yeah, I'm aware the stop loss is not in a great position, but lots of upward bullish momentum. Do you think this will work out, yes or no? Okay, so Niraj thinks no. Tony thinks yes. Okay. I'm going to say, it's a tricky one, this one. I'm going to say yes. Right? I'm going to say yes. Actually, I'm going to say no. I've changed my mind. I'm going to say no. So let's play it along. Oh, yes. See, you shouldn't have changed my mind. It's a very, you shouldn't do that in trading either. Okay, so if you put yes, give yourself a point. Okay, right, we're going to continue this. We are going to look at another buy trade. This is the buy trade, right? What do you think? Yes or no? Is this trade going to work out? Yes or no? Again, leave your answer. Keep your own score. Be honest. Otherwise, you will be struck down by a higher power. We like to know him as the editor. I'm going to say, excuse me, just peanut butter on toast repeating on me. I'm going to say yes. There we go. If you put yes, give yourself a point. Right. We are going to do one more, guys, because I've just seen the time. Okay. So we're going to do one more trade. This is it. Okay. This is the last trade. Then I want you to total up your scores and be honest. Otherwise, the editor will beat you. Right. Who is ready? Here we go. The last one. I'm going to say yes. Oh, 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 it's exciting, this one. Oh, there you go. That's hit target. It didn't hit our stop loss, and it did hit target. I said yes. I believe, did I get 3 out of 5? 5 out or 4 out of 5? I can't remember. Anyway, right. Who got what? Did anyone get 5 out of 5? Or is it out of 6? Okay, did anyone get 6 out of 6? Leave your scores, guys. We are going to move over to the Wheel of Names. This is the most exciting part of my day, this is the game show host. Okay. Okay, so we've got, and guys, you've got to be honest with me. So we've got anything hot. Gal Gadot. She's hot. Okay, anything hot. You are in. Next one. Nero, Emperor Nero. You are in. Anyone else get 6 out of 6, 2 out of 6, 5 out of 6? Okay, so this is it, guys. It's down to anything hot or Emperor Nero. Let's hide this. Let's spin the wheel. Are you ready? Come on down. Right, let's get my mic out of the way. Okay, yeah, just checking. Okay. Let's go. Who's going to win? Nero, you are today's winner. Woo! You have won a $5,000 funded challenge courtesy of one of our prop firm providers, Blueberry Funded or E8 Markets. What you need to do, Nero, is join our free Discord channel and come say hello. All right, and explain that you've won, and we will hook you up with that challenge. All right, guys. So yeah, thank you very much for your time today. Pleasure as always. Please, is this the last one? Is it Thursday? It's bloody Thursday. No, it's Wednesday. Yeah, we're here tomorrow. So guys, come join me same time again, and we'll do this all again tomorrow, guys. All right. Have a great trading day, and I'll see you later.